We don't want them to do mail-in ballots because it's going to lead to total election fraud. So we don't want them to do mail-in ballots. We don't want anyone to do mail-in ballots. Now, if somebody has to mail it in because they're sick or, by the way, because they live in the White House and they have to vote in Florida and they won't be in Florida, if there's a reason for it, that's okay. If there's a reason. But if there's not, we don't want to take any chances with fraud in our elections. What?
The rocket launch on Wednesday?
I'm thinking about going. That'll be next week to the rocket launch. I hope you're all going to join me. I'd like to put you on the rocket and get rid of you for a while. Okay. Thank you very much.
I think that we have to get back to work. We have to get our country back. We have to take it back. It was artificially closed. I think we're doing incredibly well, considering the fact that we had the greatest economy, Maria, in history. You report it every morning. The greatest that anyone's ever seen, best job numbers, best stock market numbers, best everything. We had the best everything. And in addition to military being strong, all of the things we've done, and we had to just one day, boom, close it. We did the right thing, and now we got to get back. We got to bring our country back, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. We're going to, I call it a transition to greatness. You're going to have the third quarter. People are starting to get into that right now, but it's going to be a transition. That's a transition quarter. We're going to do well in the fourth quarter, and I think next year, with all of the stimulus, all of the things we've done, I think we're going to have one of the best economic years we've ever had.
Question for you. Attorney General Barr says he is unlikely to have any criminal investigation of either Barack Obama or Joe Biden. You've been talking about what you call the greatest political crime in American history. What do you think of Mr. Barr's decision here?
Well, I think if it was me, they would do it. I think for them, maybe they're not going to. I don't know. I'm surprised because Obama knew everything that was happening. I don't think Obama knows where he is in a lot of ways. I saw his statements the other day, and I think that, frankly, they weren't very good. That's President Obama. As far as Biden's concerned, I can't tell you. Only he knows what he knows. I don't think he knows too much. But I think Obama and Biden knew about it. They were participants, but so I'm a little surprised by that statement. I don't think he said it quite the way you said it. I think he said as of this moment, I guess. But please.
The FDA has said hydroxychloroquine should not be used outside of a hospital setting or
No, that's not what I was told. No, there was a false study done where they gave it to very sick people, extremely sick people, people that were ready to die. It was given by obviously not friends of the administration. And the study came out, the people were ready to die. Everybody was old, had bad problems with hearts, diabetes, and everything else you can imagine. So they gave it. So immediately when it came out, they gave a lot of false information. Just so you understand, great studies came out of Italy on hydroxy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right? Great studies came out, and the combination of the three. But we had some great studies come out. Italy, France, Spain, ourselves, many doctors, many doctors came out and they said, it's great. Now, you have to go to a doctor. I have a doctor in the White House. I said, what do you think? And it's just a line of defense. I'm just talking about as a line of defense. I'm dealing with a lot of people. Look at all the people in the room. You know, I'm the president and I'm dealing with a lot of people. And it's a very inexpensive drug. It's almost pennies. It's very inexpensive. And it's been out for close to 70 years for a couple of different things, right? Lupus and malaria and even arthritis, they say. But I think it's worth it as a line of defense, and I'll stay on it for a little while longer. I'm just very curious myself. But it seems to be very safe. But that study was a phony study put out by the VA. You may want to talk about that. I mean, we could talk about that if anybody wants to, and maybe I'd ask Alex to talk about then. If you would introduce our great talented head of the VA and let him say a couple of words. But that was a phony study, and it's very dangerous to do it. The fact is, people should want to help people, not to make political points. It's really sad when they do that. Go ahead. Well, it's gotten very good reviews. Very good from many doctors. Many doctors. Secretary, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to clear up something that the media has not reported accurately. That was not a VA study.
Can you hear him? Because I think it's important. You asked the question.
Yeah, that was
Do you
not.
want to listen? Because I don't even think you're listening.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why don't you listen to him?
That was not a VA study. Researchers took VA numbers, and they did not clinically review them. They were not peer-reviewed. They did not even look at what the president just mentioned, the various comorbidities that the patients who were referenced in that study had. I also want to echo what the Secretary of HHS said. The instructions I received from the president were very clear, and that was to preserve and protect life. Those of us who've had a military life, some of us around this table, we've been taking this drug for years. As the president mentioned, the Department of Defense and VA have been using it for 65 years. On any given day, VA uses 42,000 doses of this drug. And what we did when this virus first hit us was to use every means necessary to help preserve life. We believe that the Congress was right, and the president signed legislation to protect life, the right to try. And we did this in consultation not only with the families of those veterans, but we did this in consultation with our doctors under FDA guidelines. So I want to knock down the phony story that this is somehow the VA going back on what the president told us to do, which was to use every means possible to protect and preserve the lives of our veterans. And I think, as the president mentioned, we've seen in many cases across this country. In fact, I was on the news the day that the governor of New York was asking you for tens of thousands of doses.
That's right.
We are doing everything we can to protect the lives of our veterans, and this is one of the means that we used.
Thank you. Hydroxy.
The vice president went to the Seattle area yesterday.
He did.
With Governor Insley.
Yeah.
He was very complimentary of Washington's response. The governor was a little less complimentary of your response.
So I told Mike not to be complimentary of the governor because that governor is a snake, okay? Insley. And I said, if you're nice to him, he will take advantage. And I would have said no. Let me just tell you, we have a lot of problems with the governor. And the governor of Washington, that's where you have many of your problems, okay? So Mike may be happy with him, but I'm not, okay? And he would say that naturally. And as I said last night at the town hall, if we came up with a cure today and tomorrow everything is gone, and you went up to this governor, who's not a good governor, by the way, if you went up to this governor and you said to him, how did Trump do? You'd say he did a terrible job. It makes no difference. If we came up with a cure right now and tomorrow everything ended at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, everything ended, he would say Trump did a horrible job, okay? And I told Mike that would happen. I said, no matter how nice you are, he's no good. That's the way I feel. Goodbye. And I told Mike that would happen. I said, no matter how nice you are, he's no good. That's the way I feel. Goodbye.
Damn! Last night, Nancy, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, called you morbidly obese. I just wanted to know what you had to say in response.
Oh, I don't respond to her. I think she's a waste of time.
What are your priorities? What did you tell the senators are your priorities for?
Well, we have a lot of priorities. The priority we have is a priority for the country and bringing it back. I use the expression transition to greatness. We're going to have a really good third quarter. It's already happening. You see it. You see what's going on. We're opening up. The states are opening up. Numbers are going down as they open. Look at Georgia. Look at Florida. Look at others. We have states that are opening up, and the numbers are going down. But it's a transition to greatness. It's the third quarter, then it's going into the fourth quarter. I think the fourth quarter is going to be really good, but I think that above all, next year you're going to have a tremendous year. Now, with all of that being said, to lose lives over this that could have been stopped by China, it should have been stopped by China, is terrible. That a thing like this could have happened to the world, long beyond us. You're going to lose millions of people. We're talking about the world. The whole world is being affected by this. It's a terrible thing, a terrible, terrible thing.
President, what's your timeline? The FDA warned that hydroxychloroquine could cause serious side effects, especially with heart.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for you to promote the use of this drug when you're not a doctor and health experts are warning?
Well, I've worked with doctors, and if you look at the one survey, the only bad survey, they were giving it to people that were in very bad shape. They were very old, almost dead. It was a Trump enemy statement. Now, if you look at some of the reports that came out from Italy, that came out from France, that came out from a lot of our frontline workers take it because it possibly, and I think it does, but people are going to have to make up their own mind. Plus, it doesn't hurt people. It's been out on the market for 60 or 65 years for malaria, lupus, and other things. I think it gives you an additional level of safety, but you can ask, many doctors are in favor of it. Many frontline workers won't go there unless they have the hydroxy. And so, again, this is an individual decision to make, but it's had a great reputation. And if it was somebody else other than me, people would say, gee, isn't that smart? But we are working on a lot of other things. We have, I'll tell you what, the great medical companies that we have, if you look at what they're doing therapeutically, cure-wise, and the vaccine itself, and the vaccine, I think, is less important than some of the things they're working on. They're working on a cure, and we have more than one doing it, and very advanced. They're working on therapeutics, and they're working on vaccines. There's been tremendous progress.
Have you talked to senators much about the reforms you would like to see to FISA so Americans aren't surveilled?
Yeah, they have a lot of views on FISA. I didn't get involved. I purposely said to Mitch, you go do what you want. We'll take a look. We're going to look at FISA. But nobody's been abused by FISA like the President of the United States. Because what the Democrats did, and the dirty cops, they're dirty cops. The FBI people are great. I'll bet you go in there, they like Donald Trump. But the top of the FBI, they were dirty cops. They were crooked, bad people. And nobody's been abused more than Trump. But you look at General Flynn, you look at so many others, not just us. Take a look at so many others. Look at what they've done, how they've abused FISA. So I'm going to be studying it very much. But the FISA process has gone awry. It was used by very dishonest people. It was used illegally. And frankly, the judges on the FISA court should do something about it. And maybe they will.
Mr. President, are you satisfied with how Republican senators have responded on the Flynn case and on the origins of the Russia investigation?
Well, I think on the swing states, you said?
The Flynn case.
On the Flynn case? General Flynn is a man of great respect. I was with General Milley, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the other day. I said, you know General Flynn? He said, yes, I do. He's a fine man. I've known him for 20 years. He's a fine man and a great soldier. General Flynn was treated horribly. General Flynn was treated illegally. These people, they broke the law. They broke the law. What they've done to General Flynn should never happen. What they've done to the presidency and what they've done to this country can never be allowed to happen again to our country. And despite all of that has been done, everything that's been done, we've had one of the greatest presidencies ever. We have never, I don't think anybody, Mitch, I think we can say it with surety, nobody's accomplished what we've accomplished in a relatively short period of time, a 3-year period of time. Nobody's been able to do that. When you look at rebuilding our military, regulations at a level that nobody's come close to, we've cut regulations, the biggest tax decrease in history. You look at all of the things that we've done, all of the things we've done on health care with the individual mandate, with pre-existing conditions. Nobody's done anywhere close to what we've done. But despite that, if you look, despite an illegal witch hunt, and that's what it was a hoax, it was a witch hunt. The Russian thing was a made-up, fabricated story. Just like they went to Congresswoman Kelsey Gabbard. I don't know her at all. And they said, you're a Russian agent. I don't know her, but I know she's not a Russian agent. Then they went to Dr. Jill Stein of the Green Party. They said she's a Russian agent. I don't know her at all. I know she's not a Russian agent. These people are sick. Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems. We're dealing with people that have to get their act together for the good of the country. Okay, thank you very much.
There's more to come from what I understand, and they're going to be far greater than what you've seen so far. And what you've seen so far is incredible, especially as it relates to President Obama. Because if anyone thinks that he and Sleepy Joe Biden didn't know what was going on, They have another thing coming.